Yo, what is going on, y'all? It is your boy AT from AT's Barstool, and today we are back here on episode 20 of AT's Barstool. If you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share the link and send it to your friends so they can go ahead and watch the video and subscribe to the channel too. I'll really appreciate it. And with that being said, y'all, let's get into it. All right. And the main topic for today's video is going to be about the Jalen Ramsey trade. We're mainly going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers here. And first, we are going to be talking about Jalen Ramsey trade, which has been the biggest trade that Pittsburgh has done in a while this offseason since DK Metcalf and the George Pickens trade to the Cowboys and all that. But getting Jalen Ramsey was a good addition. But I do think that it was not the right person they gave up, which we all know they gave up Minkah Fitzpatrick in a fifth-round pick, and the Steelers in return got Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, and a 2027 seventh-round pick, which I honestly think, in my opinion, I feel like the Dolphins did win this trade. They got Minkah Fitzpatrick back. They need a safety, and their secondary hasn't been good this year. So getting Minkah Fitzpatrick, an all-pro safety, back on the roster, that is big time. Even though he has been a little bit lackluster the last couple years, he still is a really good safety and can make plays and all that. And for the Steelers, they do need corner big time, especially the depth. And now getting Jalen Ramsey at corner, and he can also play a little bit of safety too. That's good for Pittsburgh, but it is also kind of bad due to the fact of how old he is. He is the age of 30 years old and giving up a 28-year-old all-pro player in Minkah Fitzpatrick. I honestly think that is not the best of all trades, but I think it's a decent trade. You know what I'm saying? They needed something that they really struggle with, and they need a corner who can also play down and make tackles and all that, and also cover really well in Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins, they need someone who can just cover the field and play really good defense and just go out there and just hit somebody from the safety position and make a Fitzpatrick. Knowing the Dolphins didn't have the best of secondaries, and the Steelers also not having the best of secondaries either, I think it's a pretty fair trade. And also the Steelers got a good tight end in Jonnu Smith, who had 88 catches, 884 yards, and he had only a couple touchdowns this past season. But I still think he's a really good tight end, and I honestly think that the Dolphins 100% did win this trade, and they also got a 2027 fifth-round pick back, which is better than a 2027 seventh-round pick. So I honestly think the Dolphins did win this trade, and I would say it's an A- for the Dolphins. And for the Steelers, I think it's a B+ in my honest opinion, due to the fact that they lost the safety, and now they need a free safety. Or not a free safety, a strong safety, my bad, because Minkah was playing more of a strong safety, down safety type of player the last couple of years, and that's the big reason why he hasn't really been getting a lot of picks. So the Steelers getting some more depth at the corner piece, and now having Darius Slade Jr., Joey Porter Jr., and Jalen Ramsey with Beanie Bishop too. I think that's a really good corner room right there. And I think the Steelers will have one of the best secondaries in the AFC North coming this season. And will be next for the Pittsburgh Steelers after the Jalen Ramsey and Minkah Fitzpatrick trade? Now the Steelers are looking at a pretty big hole at the safety spot. They still have Deshaun Elliott, but they do need another safety. Even though I already said Jalen Ramsey can play that safety position, which he can, but they need a true safety who is solid and is going to do the things that Minkah was doing, such as making big plays like interceptions and make big hits, to coming down and play a little bit of nickel and all that for the Steelers. And also, what are they going to do with the TJ Watt contract, which we are going to also talk about later on in this video? But the main thing they have to worry about is the safety position, and on the offensive side, just getting everybody together. You know, the quarterback situation, we all know Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing quarterback for the Steelers going into the season, and this will be his final season as an NFL player, as he will be ending his career with a Super Bowl and 4 MVPs, as Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old at this point in his career. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, we don't know how they're going to do, but I do think it is going to be a repeat of last season. This Steelers team gets hyped up a lot every year no matter who they have, such as like Russell Wilson, Justin Fields last year. The team got hyped up to be really good, and they did end up. They did start off really well, but they finished pretty poorly and ended up going 10-7 and getting knocked out in the wild card round to not only the Baltimore Ravens, which is a AFC North rival, but it was what the second straight year, if I'm not mistaken, of getting knocked out in the first or wild card round of the NFL playoffs. And this has been a trend for the last several years. It's not just a 1 year, 2 year thing like any other team would be doing, but it has been in a consistent trend of winning seasons, barely getting through, and getting knocked out in the wild card round. The Pittsburgh Steelers do need have. I mean, the Steelers do need to make a big trade, and it has to happen soon. I don't know when this is going to be. Yeah, the Minkah Fitzpatrick, Jalen Ramsey trade, that is pretty big, but I feel like something even bigger has to happen for this Steelers team to even push themselves past the wild card round and possibly go to the divisional and maybe the AFC Championship if they could build a good enough roster. But then again, the rookies, they got to be really good and also be on their small contract still. Got to be good the first several years or whatever. And everyone else just got to play as a team. I honestly think that's what's going to have to happen for Pittsburgh. Well, it's been have to happen, but it's got to happen like right now. And Mike Tomlin, it feels like he probably is getting to the end of his coaching career. He's almost 20 years in, which is crazy. He's only 18 years in, and he's getting old. And I'm telling you right now, he's a really good coach. He's assembled some pretty good teams in the past, and he's had them win games. Not only win games, but make the playoffs consistently. He can do it. He has the ability to do that with any team. Not any team, but most teams. It's just how is the rest of the players, how is the players going to execute on the field? That's the big question. Also, another thing too that I want to talk about for the Pittsburgh Steelers is the TJ Watt trade rumors. Man, it's crazy. The TJ Watt trade rumors, it has been a while since we traded like a real big time player, if not our best player. The last time we've traded a big time player like TJ Watt was back in like probably like 2019 when we had Antonio Brown, who was one of a top 5 receiver in the NFL and was just insanely good. And then CTE came around and all that when he got that little head injury from Burfict and all that. That was the last time the Steelers had to trade a big time player like Antonio Brown. It has been a while. Hopefully, I'm really hoping they don't. Which, as a Steelers fan, if I find out TJ Watt gets traded, I will be really, really devastated. And every Steelers fan would, as he's did a lot for the Steelers, and it's pretty much like the heart and soul and the main piece of the Steelers team. Yeah, is he bigger than everybody else on his team? Yeah, but not really. And the reason why I say that is because he makes the most impact on defense. He makes the most impact, makes the most plays. He's won DPOY. He should have at least 3 or 4 right now, but there's been a couple years where he's gotten robbed for DPOY for Myles Garrett, which Myles Garrett's a really good player too, but I don't think he's as good as TJ Watt, and everybody else knows it too. Also, another thing is too that if they do trade TJ Watt, they will still have a good linebacker room. They're still going to have Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, and Jack Sawyer if he turns out to become really good, which I feel like he can. But having TJ Watt, though, it's way different, and it's a whole different ball game because you have to go against someone who is just fast off the edge and really big too, who can move the lineman no matter what pass rush move they do or what he does. And also, he can stop the run. Just see him try to tackle Derrick Henry. He did it before. Just watch his highlights, man. If you know, you know. But TJ Watt getting traded to anywhere, it will be really bad. And it will just be not good for the Pittsburgh Steelers because he is really the main source, the main player on this team. And they need to work out some contract or whatever. And the thing with TJ Watt is, too, he doesn't get in no legal trouble than Antonio Brown does. Antonio Brown, he was getting in trouble for sexual misconduct and all that stuff back in 2019 and 2018. That's the reason why he got released and all that and went to the Raiders, Patriots, and then ended up retiring or whatever, mainly because of his legal issues. TJ Watt, on the other hand, he doesn't have legal issues. He's been really good for us. His history, crime history, has been straight clean for his whole entire life, which, yeah, that's good and all. And also, he's been a really good player who hasn't really had no off the field issues and hasn't really had no on the field issues where he's crashed out or especially got really mad at someone like Mike Tomlin or whatever. It's crazy. Not crazy, but it's like that's good for us. And TJ Watt, and if he does get traded, here are three teams I think will be the best fit if TJ Watt does get traded. The first team I will say that I think is a good fit will be the Washington Commanders, and I think that is the main team that would potentially get TJ Watt if TJ Watt gets traded. I feel like if they do end up trading TJ Watt, they might get someone like Terry McLaurin, probably a first round pick and maybe a second round pick. It's going to be a lot of picks, I feel like, that's going to be thrown in there for TJ Watt. Because think about it, TJ Watt is the best edge rusher in the NFL. He is a guy who almost broke the record. Not almost, but tied the record for most sacks in a single season, which was what's it called? That record was held by Michael Strahan back in 2001. He did that. He did that before. He's won Defensive Player of the Year. He's had multiple forced fumbles. He's had over 100 sacks and has more than J.J. Watt, his brother. And his brother, J.J. Watt, he was really good too. Difference is he's a right end. J.J. Watt's a linebacker. But still, he's still coming off the edge, doing a lot of great things, and he's did a lot of great things for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He just hasn't accomplished a lot, such as making it to the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl, mainly because the offense has been holding the Steelers back for the last several years. And mainly the offensive line and the quarterback play was the main reason. So since Big Ben retired, the Steelers offense has been pretty much pitiful. Other than that, though, I don't know what's going to happen. And I will say that the Commanders, they do need an edge rusher too really badly. Back to the topic I was talking about. Commanders, definitely the number one team that probably would trade for TJ Watt. I would not be surprised if TJ Watt gets traded. Well, I would be surprised, but I would not, though, if the Commanders get him. So, yeah, the Commanders, they need edge rushing. Their edge rushing wasn't that good. And they need to stop the run really bad, too. TJ Watt can do that, too. He's literally the best edge rusher in the NFL. And getting TJ Watt, or the Commanders getting TJ Watt, I feel like will make more sense, especially the defense not being as good. And Jalen Daniels completely carried the offense with Terry McLaurin and the offensive line who was mid at best. And having TJ Watt and you have a young quarterback on offense, and then you have TJ Watt helping you on defensive side when you're not even on the field, I feel like that's going to be a really good combo. And then just build around TJ Watt with some solid players on cheap contracts. And I feel like that the Commanders will definitely be Super Bowl contenders and can repeat. But it all depends on what is the Steelers going to do with TJ Watt's contract. That is the number one source and the number one thing. And on to the next team, which the next team is the New England Patriots. I think this is the second team, in my honest opinion, that will 100% make sense of getting TJ Watt due to the fact that they need edge rushing. And when it came to pass rushing and getting to the quarterback, they had some of the worst pass rushing in the league. There's a reason why they had a top 5 pick in the draft and wasn't all that good during the 2024 season. TJ Watt, he will definitely fit in 100%. I feel like he will with the Patriots scheme and all that. And the fact that the New England Patriots will absolutely love having TJ Watt 100% because why not? He is the best edge rusher in the league. And you already got, if not one of the most underrated corners in the league in Christian Gonzalez, and you pair him up with TJ Watt, that's going to be pretty dangerous. You know what I'm saying? That's only if they build around TJ Watt with some other solid players and don't give up too much. I feel like that the Steelers, though, they will, I mean, not the Steelers, but the Patriots, if they do trade for TJ Watt, I feel like they are going to end up having to trade someone like Christian Gonzalez because he's one of the best players on that team, and also give up some other big-time players on that team, including a couple first-round picks because it's TJ Watt. It's not no regular average guy like Minkah Fitzpatrick. I'm not going to say he's average, but It's not like you're giving up or you're going to go ahead and try to trade Minkah Fitzpatrick, which you can get a third and fourth round pick, maybe even later, which we already saw. The Dolphins, all they had to do was give up Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, and the seventh round pick for Minkah. And the fact that that even went through is kind of crazy, but hey, that's the NFL and that's how business is sometimes. And I was just surprised about that. Yeah, the trade we already talked about. But that is the second spot I can see happening, or the second landing spot I can definitely see. Then the third and final one, the third and final team, I will highly say might be either it's a tie between two teams, and in my honest opinion, it's a tie between the Miami Dolphins, right? Hear me out. The Miami Dolphins, I know y'all Steelers fans may hate me, even though they just got Minkah, taking another Steelers player away from us. That's kind of crazy. Miami Dolphins, another good fit. But also the LA Rams. And the reason why I say the LA Rams, their pass rushing was good, but the Rams, they trying to win. They're trying to win games now. They got a really good edge rusher in Jared Verse, who had an amazing rookie season. And they're not going to give up Jared Verse, but they're going to give up some other key players, probably a Puka Nacua, which the Steelers do need receiver room because they only got DK Metcalf, and their second best receiver is Robert Woods, between Robert Woods or Calvin Austin. And the fact they get Puka Nacua, then yeah, that's good trade, I'll say. Getting Puka, probably getting another guy, another really good player, and probably a couple picks. I can definitely see this trade going through. And now you have a dangerous defense where you have Jared Verse and TJ Watt on both sides coming for the quarterback. And I will highly say that will be really good for the Rams. And I feel like they will go for TJ Watt potentially. Now, the reason why I say the Dolphins, yes, they just got Minkah, but they need edge rushing. Their edge rushing hasn't been good and all that. And they probably will give up probably someone like Tyreek Hill maybe, because he has probably a lot of value, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe a Tua Tagovailoa and have him start maybe, and then probably get a couple picks and all that. Even though Tua has been having a lot of head injuries and all that the last couple years, he's still a really good young quarterback that the Steelers can have, and the quarterback is something that the Steelers need, especially a young quarterback of the future, because we all know the Pittsburgh Steelers don't have the quarterback of the future, especially with no Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. We don't even know about Will Howard and how it's going to do, but they drafted him in the 6th round, and then Aaron Rodgers, who's going to retire next year. So I feel like this will make a lot of sense, giving away Tua, giving away Tyreek, and probably give away probably a first and probably a couple third-round picks or something like that. But other than that, though, that's my honest opinion for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I honestly think with the record or with the season that they're going to have, and with the players they have now, and with the coaching so far and the off-the-field stuff, I don't think there's really nothing going on the field, if I'm not mistaken, as this video is recorded. But I do still think the Steelers can win 9 to 10 games and make the playoffs. It just comes down to how is the offense going to play. That is the big question, and how is the Steelers going to handle the rest of this offseason. But other than that, though, thank you guys for enjoying this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to follow my Instagram page. Link will be in the bio. And with that being said, y'all, thank you guys for enjoying this video, and I'll see y'all next week.
I came in with a new 40 Glock. Fuck on your bitch, make that hoe want a milli rock. I'm with my boys and no, we do not milli rock. Funny money, no, this is not no silly guap. Got a richer milli, this not a silly walk. All this money make me want hit my diddy bop. Tell her at the bank, I'm just give me lock. At the dealer, I can't pull this shit off the lot. Me and my boys, you know that we sharing thoughts. I got